This week was the book of Numbers, chapters 19, verses 1 through 22, which details the laws of the red heifer, the ashes of which, it purifies the nation to the degree that we can actually build and engage in the temple service. The lack of the red heifer ashes, the lack of those purifying waters that those ashes are mixed into, are really the only thing that's holding us back from temple times. That and our own mental and spiritual barriers and limitations that we've placed before ourselves. But anyway, the whole idea of the red heifer is notoriously shrouded in mystery and secrets. But we know for sure that it's the ashes of the red heifer, an unblemished red heifer that has never had a yoke on it. Its ashes purify the entire nation. And to this very day, there are areas of the Temple Mount that are so holy that we are not, by all accounts, everybody agrees that we are not even able to step foot there until we've been purified. That's why we go up, as a Jewish group, followed by the Waqf, who are watching your mouth to make sure that you don't say a single word, because they understand that prayer to God, reading the Psalms of David on the Temple Mount, could damage their cause more than anything else. But still, we walk around the outer periphery. We don't even try to go up to the center because it's so holy. Until we're purified with the ashes of the red heifer, we can't go there. And it's not hard, and it's hard not to experience the entire subject of the red heifer. It's no longer in the dusty pages of the Bible. It's coming to life right now in Israel like never before, like right now, like now, in real time. I mean, just days ago, there was a conference held by an organization called the Academy for Temple Knowledge, in which select participants were able to see five red heifers that are in the land of Israel. They're in Shiloh, and they're being very well protected constantly, 24/7. I mean, they don't take them out to graze, right? That would be too dangerous. They just feed them the highest quality foods. They don't clean them because they're so cautious that even pulling out a single hair would render the red heifer unfit for sacrifice. Every 2 weeks, specialists from the Temple Institute come to examine them. And they've been given biblical names, all having to do with the redemption. Did you guys hear this? Look at this video. Names that they've been given. Tikva means hope. Geula, redemption. Sgula. I don't really know offhand how to define Sgula, where I guess chosen, a certain type of chosenness. Tchiyah, from Chaim, is resurrection. Nechama is like a compassion, an act of compassion, divine compassion towards us. And I think people laugh because the very idea, maybe that's the laughter David was talking about. The very idea of having red heifers and then giving them these names, it's so surreal. I remember growing up and there would be rumors, hopes that a singular red heifer had been discovered. And I remember when I was 15, they thought that they discovered one in Haifa, but they found it had a little blemish or a gray hair and it wasn't kosher. So there went that. But now there are at least 5 that are universally recognized as kosher and fit for sacrifice. It's really unbelievable. And truth told, those who are leading this initiative to get them to Israel, which they did, by the way, they got a license to bring pets. You're able to bring 5 pets on a flight, so they brought 5 cows. That's really how they did it. And they got it on an American Airlines flight with a license for pets. And they're moving forward in faith. Although there is not a clear course of action regarding when to sacrifice them, if to sacrifice them, none of that is clear at all. They don't know the next step, but they're just moving forward one step at a time in faith. And if it was just ancient Jewish irrelevant mythology, no one else would really pay attention. Every religion, every faith claims to be the chosen people, but nobody cares. But the Jews, when we claim, and even though we deny it all the time, that makes the world even more enraged at us. The fact that there's so much wrath and anger around this, to me, is a demonstration of the fact that this is very real. One of the demonstrations. All you need to do is listen to our enemies. Listen to the enemies of Israel. Listen to the global jihad. Listen to Hamas. Here's a clip from TRT, not Arutz Sheva or anywhere else. It's a news platform owned by the Turkish government. And this was the beginning of their piece about the red. I didn't have the time for the whole piece, but this is how they began it.
Cow start Armageddon in the Middle East in April 2024? And what does this have to do with Israel's war on Palestine's Gaza? On the 100-day anniversary of Israel's brutal assault on Gaza, Hamas spokesman Abu Ubaidah released a video explaining the motivations behind the group's incursion into Israel on October 7th. Alongside Israel's continued occupation of Palestine, he also mentioned the bringing of red cows into the occupied Palestinian territories. Ubaidah was referring to the plans of numerous right-wing Israeli groups who believe that a red cow must be sacrificed in order for the Jews to progress plans to demolish the Al-Aqsa Mosque and build the fabled Third Temple in its place.
Right, that's like, I wanted to play something not just from even Fox News, where there's like a religious right. This is TRT. It's like the Turkish, it's like Al Jazeera of Turkey. And it's true, Hamas is very forthright and honest about this. Here's the actual recording of the Hamas spokesperson, Abu Ubaidah, officially declaring on behalf of Hamas that the Red Heifers were a central part of their inspiration to launch their Nazi-like existential attack on the Jewish people.
وبدأ تقسيمه الزماني والمكاني فعلا، وأحضرت البقرات الحمر تطبيقا لخرافة دينية مقيتة مصممة للعدوان على مشاعر أمة كاملة في قلب عروبتها ومسرى نبيها ومعراجه إلى السماء.
You see that they were motivated to launch their war against Israel. You know, it's about all of this. It's about the temple. The temple is not just a corollary reason for them. The entire war for them is to arrest the unfolding of redemption in its tracks. You know, as you know, that's the reason they called this war, what'd they call it? The Al-Aqsa flood. Here's the pictures. This is just on Al Jazeera. It's called the Al-Aqsa flood. It's not just what they call it. All the world is calling it the Al-Aqsa flood. That is their emblem. That's their patch for this war.